Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and tonight you're watching another episode of Between the Ropes. And let me introduce to you the people that I have with me tonight. We have none other than Mr. Mess Around Dave. Mess Around, how are you doing tonight? He likes to do the mess around.
I'd be a hell of a lot better if I didn't have this freaking cold.
Oh,
Colds
Yikes.
are pain in the butt, man.
they suck.
All right, and Christy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll, ready
Oh,
to
yeah.
talk some wrestling here.
Yes.
I actually read this really interesting thing that I was gonna mention that I saw. I saw this, and before we go into like our Raw and SmackDown stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Hey, I saw this," and so I guess when uh, Triple H had originally took over,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this planet Clash of the Castle, and we were all talking about, because I guess the biggest thing is people were talking about, if you were going to take a belt off of Roman Reigns, how would you make him look strong without him losing, and then going into Mania, because you got to make him look strong and all that stuff.
Yep.
So I read the plan originally that they had going up until that day, and the plans actually changed at the last minute. But if everybody remembers how Tyson Fury and Austin Theory had gotten involved in that match at the very end.
Yep.
Well,
Remember.
apparently the way that they had it planned, which when I saw that, I'm like, that really wouldn't have been a bad idea had I read it. Well, if they would have done it, but
Right.
the plan that they had in place was to keep going with that Austin Theory, or the Austin Theory and Tyson Fury. Austin Theory was going to come down, cash in his briefcase, but then they were going to make a stipulation and say, okay, when he brought it down to cash in, he was going to have to say which title he was cashing in for. It couldn't have been both. It was going to be one.
Right.
And then he was going to cash it in. It was going to become a triple threat match. And then Tyson Fury was going to KO Austin Theory and throw him in the ring, and then Drew McIntyre was going to pin him.
Oh. Wow. That wouldn't have been too bad if they let it happen.
That to me, I actually thought that would have been actually a pretty decent idea.
Yeah.
I think Big B might have came in a little late to where he didn't quite hear what I was
I
talking
caught the pinning. That's the part I caught. What's up?
Yeah, so what I read, because you know how forever we'd been talking about, and people had been saying, how would you take a belt off of Roman with making him look strong without losing going into Mania? So the reports came out up until that very day of Clash at the Castle. They had a plan in place. And they were going to have Roman lose the belt at Clash of the Castle, and how they were going to do it was at the very end when Austin Theory and Tyson Fury had gotten involved in the match. How they were going to do it was they were going to have Austin Theory come down, cash in his briefcase, and then say, and make him pick one title and say, I'm going after this title. And then he was going to cash it in. Tyson Fury was going to knock him out and then throw him in the ring, and Drew was going to pin him and win one of the titles to get it off of Roman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's honestly the only way you're going to keep Roman strong and take one or both belts off of him for a while is to do something like that. He's going to lose it in a triple threat 4-way match or something like that, so he doesn't have to be pinned.
Right.
No, yeah, it's true, but my thing is though too is like if they're actually setting up for the Rock and Roman match, like they've been talking about forever, if they're really setting up for it, if it's really set in stone, my thing is, does it really have to be for a title? Because it's already a big match. It's already a big match.
Yeah.
And I really think this is probably the last year that they're going to push this match. I mean, it's been how long since the Rock's had a competitive match?
What about 2 years, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So I mean, granted, the guy's in shape. I've said that for years. I mean, said every time it's come up. But sooner or later, the fans are going to be like, okay, we wanted this match. You kind of toyed with it. You haven't given it to us. You know, they're gonna blow past it next year.
Well, I can tell you that if it doesn't happen this year, I don't think they're going to try and run it back and do it again.
Exactly.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because we know it's the Triple H era.
Yes.
And we know that he's not gonna that Triple H is not gonna be like Vince and be like, okay, well, we want this match, so we're gonna put it off for another year. There's no way, because Triple H already wants to go a different route with the championship. Yep. He just already promised Vince McMahon is the only reason he's doing this.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, deep down, I know Triple H probably still wants this match to happen, but there's so long you can speculate and
gossip
get it. You know, yeah, I think this is, if it's not happening at WrestleMania, I think this is gonna be it.
Yeah.
Well, but what I mean though is, like, I'm not saying that Triple H doesn't want.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we know that Triple H wants at least one of the belts off of Roman. I know he does, but the only
that's because USA wants it.
USA Network wants a champion on Raw. They've been asking for it, and WWE has not delivered on it yet.
But because I know the reason he hasn't pulled the trigger is because he promised Vince when Vince retired. He said, "I will keep your Bloodline storyline going up until Mania, like you wanted." And I think that's.
But you can still keep the Bloodline storyline going. He doesn't need to have both belts. I mean, even the Usos don't need to have both belts. I mean, the Bloodline storyline can still keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they just don't need titles.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just something that they've been toying with it for a while, and I think it's definitely something that they've been toying with, and I think when it comes down to it. I know the current rumor too now is that he already has the plan in place. He's already come out and said he knows who's taking it off of him. He knows when they're taking it off of him. So he's already looking down the tracks and going, I already know.
Well, we saw Monday it was not going to be Theory.
No.
No,
I mean, that was
that I thought was ridiculous, but we'll get to it later.
Well, but the thing is, to me though, is like, the thing is, so yeah, we can go right to this Austin Theory cash in, and we can talk about the cash in and everything else. So to me personally, here's my thoughts on the Austin Theory cash in. I was okay with it. And the reason why I was simply okay with it is because, like, this is the problem with the IWC. And it's the internet world community that I'm talking about.
Yep.
People were like, oh, so dumb. Austin Theory won Money in the Bank. He never should have won Money in the Bank, blah, blah, blah. Get it off of him. Get it off of him. And then they do, we want justice for Austin Theory. We're coming at you guys with pitchforks. Because you took the title off, because you took the briefcase off, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I think they had to.
Like, you're going to come at them because they took the briefcase off of them when everybody wanted it off of them, and now you're going to come at them with pitchforks because now all of a sudden you have a problem with it when you wanted it off of them in the first place?
I guess this is a case of you can't make people happy no matter what you do.
And that's the thing with wrestling fans is they're not going to be happy unless it's their idea or if it's their guy they're backing.
Exactly.
I mean, we got 4 people here. I guarantee we probably all, if not half of us, probably had a different idea on how to get Austin Theory a title or how long to, or when he should have dropped the belt or cashed in and stuff. I mean,
It would not have, for me, it would not have been the U.S. title. It would have been something different, but it would not have been the big ones.
Good evening.
Roman's not letting those go.
Well, so this is the thing, though, too. So just really quick, and Thomas saying that he was okay with the cash in too. Absolutely. So, and my thing is this. So you knew, regardless, it was going to be a wasted cash in because you knew Austin Theory had no chance cashing in on Roman Reigns.
Nope.
No chance whatsoever. You knew if he cashed in, he was going to get his ass kicked anyway.
Right.
So
Bloodline
well, and they
was
botched that, what, twice? The attempted cash in? I mean, you talked about
yeah,
Clash, and then you talked about, Lesnar. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
but
Tyson Fury knocked him out.
Yeah.
But he had no shot anyways. You knew he wasn't going to beat Roman to win a title. You knew that. And so at that point, it's like, so what does it matter? Yeah. Then you let him cash it in on a title that you know he would actually have a shot at getting.
Yeah.
He's not going to have a shot at cashing in on Roman. It's just not going to happen. And honestly, you can't have him cash in on Gunther either, because Gunther would beat the hell out of Austin Theory too.
Oh, so one chop and he's down.
The only wasted part was the fact that he didn't walk away with a title. I think.
He could have tried cashing in for the NXT title, and Braun Breaker would just pretty much threw him out of the ring.
Yeah, but I think they could have. If Vince was there, he would have cashed in on one of the, sooner or later on a triple threat match and got one of the titles off of.
Yes, I was going to say that if once Vince was gone,
A-Town
down, lost the advantage.
A-Town down.
A-Town.
Yeah, A-Town went down. All right.
Went down in flames, pretty much.
So mess around. Let me ask you: were you okay with the cash in?
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with it. I mean, I have to be right. There's nothing I can do about it, but
yeah.
Oh no, you could throw a fit, post on Facebook, and
right, like everybody else in the IWC.
You could post like the crying Jordan meme or something like that.
You could have posted the same thing. Like everybody else in the IWC posted because they wanted to come at WWE with pitchforks because they did it.
Yeah,
I could.
I just think the wasted part was he didn't walk away with the title. But
true.
I mean, the storyline was good. I mean, him holding it was fine. That was fine.
The thing is, he's not the only one to ever walk away without it.
You're exactly right. I mean, Otis had it, lost it to Miz. I mean, I think. Baron Corbin's the biggest one. I think Baron Corbin should have walked away with a title.
Right, should have taken it off Jinder Mahal, I think.
Strowman.
But the thing is, Cena didn't need the Money in the Bank. I mean, he already had his legacy built.
Yep.
Who else you say? Sheamus?
No. Braun Strowman. He cashed it in and didn't win. Damien Sandow. He cashed it in and didn't win.
Damien Sandow, I've never been a big fan of his.
And I remember the Shield reunited to beat the crap out of Strowman to make sure the cash in was a failed cash in.
It's just my point with the whole thing is when people were talking about it, and my point to them was I was like, everyone was acting like it's never happened, and I was like, it's happened. It's happened multiple times. Why is it such a big deal?
It's happened. It won't be last.
No, it won't be.
There'll be more.
It won't be last. But also the other speculation on why they did it though too was because Triple H wants to do away with the actual pay-per-view and he actually wants to put Money in the Bank this year at WrestleMania where it rightfully belongs.
That's where it should be. Yeah.
That's where it should have been the whole time instead of a totally separate pay-per-view.
Yeah, I believe it did debut at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it did.
Chris Jericho came up with the concept and it got put in at WrestleMania.
And I'm telling you,
they need to do a tag team one.
Right? Yeah.
I think a lot of us thought with Otis, there was a rumor going around he was gonna cash in on whoever the tag team champions were at the time, but the cash in never happened.
And this is why, though, in the end, like when you think about it. Now, I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong. But this is why I'm thinking Triple H did what he did. Because if he indeed puts the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania where it rightfully belongs, okay? If he does that, I'm telling you, I think he has this plan in place to where whoever wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, that match is going to cash in on Rock or Roman if the match happens. That is my theory.
That'll be the opening match.
I think that's why he did it like that, was to put the Money in the Bank ladder match there and then have the person wait until after that match and then cash in, and that's how they're going to get the belt off of them.
Well, if WrestleMania, if WrestleMania stays 2 nights like I think it's going to, you put the Money in the Bank on night one,
Mhm.
and then with the surprise of them cashing in on night 2.
Right. 'Cause I'm thinking Roman might lose one of the belts on night 1 of WrestleMania, then lose the second one night 2. Because I'm thinking, well, whoever the Royal Rumble winner is going to be is probably going to challenge Roman night 1 of WrestleMania.
Well, that's another thing too. You got, the Royal Rumble winner. You got the Money in the Bank. Supposedly at WrestleMania,
Yep.
and then you got The Rock. So which way are they going? I mean,
Yeah, I don't
Unless-
know.
'Cause The Rock
Unless-
says,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So mess around though too. Like you were like The Rock says, right? So let's say this: it comes to the Royal Rumble, it comes to entrant 30, and then you freaking hear "If you smell," and then The Rock comes out and wins the Rumble, and there you go. You have your match.
well, yeah,
Yeah, and then you have your match set up at Mania, and then Roman's like, wait, what the heck? And The Rock's like, I wanted to earn this the right way by entering the Rumble and winning the Rumble and then taking you on at WrestleMania.
And having you acknowledge me.
and show you who the real head of the table is. bitch.
Exactly.
see, and that's why they don't need a
Exactly.
title, because they could put that as the match stipulations or whatever, build it up.
Right?
Who's the true head of the table? They don't need a title for
They
that
don't.
match.
No,
I
exactly.
think
They don't
having the
need
title would ruin the match,
Yeah,
actually.
but,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. The thing is, though, is like, I know people are saying that it doesn't, but the problem is, though, is this. The problem is now, if you take the belt off of Roman, now there's really no point of The Rock coming in because somebody has already beat Roman. And
Right.
so
True.
it's like, now there's no point because then it's like, all right, Roman's beat everybody except, and then that's when The Rock is there, and The Rock's like, you might have beaten everybody, but you have not beaten me. And then at that point, if Roman loses, then The Rock can't come out and say, well, you've beaten everybody, you just haven't. He
Well,
can't.
yeah, they're gonna keep him strong as long as he got, and that's why I don't think the Rock could be in the Rumble, but I think they need to kind of throw out more leaks or more teasers on The Rock
Mhm.
coming in and possibly showing up at a pay-per-view or something,
Yeah.
and kind of start the feud, and maybe he gets jumped by the bloodline. Maybe they just, nope, we're not touching him, and stuff like that. And then he goes in the Rumble and wins, and
Right.
I get my match now.
Mhm.
I mean,
Unless
Unless
the
Rock Roman, the build-up has got to be really, really good. You've got to really build it up well.
unless the match just doesn't happen.
That's true.
well, if it doesn't happen, then they can scrap that. I would scrap it.
Me
It's
too.
gonna be such a huge letdown if it doesn't.
Right?
I
So-
know. It'd be
Well,
like,
that's the whole thing. It's a whole letdown. I mean, just think when WCW bought out, how many of us wanted Undertaker Sting, Undertaker Sting, Undertaker
right. And
Sting?
we never
Still
got
talks
it.
about
Greg-
today.
Oh, exactly. And the thing is, Sting never wanted to be a part of WC or WWF right away. He felt betrayed.
Yeah.
So,
So Tim Hendricks is saying, I still think Cody wins the Rumble and faces Roman at Mania.
And that's what I'm thinking.
anything's possible.
It could.
That
I
I
mean,
think
it
is
could
the
be a
main thing.
possibility.
Yeah.
It
I
very
think
well
isn't that
could
why
be a
Cody came
possibility.
back in the first place? Was to face a
Well, yeah,
champion and win a title
yeah.
because his father never really. That was a goal his father never really accomplished.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, it's just going to be interesting to see where this goes. But
Yeah.
speaking of, we have a pay-per-view coming up, Survivor Series War
Yes.
Games,
Nice. I
War
love it.
games.
Love it.
right?
You
I'm
gotta-
telling you, this card is really building up to be a great card.
The only thing right now, I mean, yes, Ace, you got it right. The card is building up good. The only thing that would top it off even better is if somehow NXT gets involved somehow.
Yes,
in the
that
next
would
couple
be
weeks.
really
Right?
cool.
Yeah.
That
But-
would be the icing on the cake for this pay per view.
Absolutely.
But
Because
I'm already-
War Games was NXT.
Do it. Need to see Corey Jade up there.
So Thomas is saying
Mess
it
around.
could be
Mess
Rock
around.
versus Roman
Sorry.
night 1 and Cody versus Roman night 2.
Right. I was gonna.
Oh,
yes,
no,
did you
Rock
watch
will
War
be
Games last
Night
year?
2.
You want to know what happened to Cora Jade in War Games last year?
Somebody's echoing.
She unleashed her inner Jeff Hardy and did almost like a swanton dive off the cage onto a table.
That was mess around. That was echoing too, because I just muted him. So.
All right, I was like, why am I hearing myself over there?
Yeah. I think. No, you're still echoing when mess around.
Excel, come back with that one.
I'm echoing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're echoing.
Okay.
But
Fine, I'll leave.
No.
But talking about the, Survivor Series war games and everything, though,
Yep.
like we're talking about, I really like how it's getting set up, especially with the 5-on-5. Like, I was talking with the wife about this, and I was like, oh, I could flat out picture a 1-on-1 match between Roman and Sheamus. That I think would be an excellent match too.
How long has it been since they faced each other? Was it about 7 years or something like that?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
That was definitely that was in the Vince era, so I can imagine the type of match it would be now with the Triple H era. And Sheamus and Roman, I think, could put on a freaking fantastic match.
Banger after banger after banger after banger, and mess around's going in and out. Oh, he's back.
You are there. Cool. So Thomas is saying KO has to be the fifth man on the babyface team. You know what?
I'm all for it.
That's kind of one thing that I was going to talk about tonight. I was going to kind of get everybody's thoughts on who you believe is going to round out the final babyface team for War Games. So, Big B, I'll start with you. Who do you think is going to be the last member for War Games?
So, barring injury, we're doing Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
God, the fifth guy. I was really hoping that Karrion Kross would have been a face, and they pushed him. I mean, but he's an excellent heel.
Oh, he's a phenomenal heel.
Man, Owens is on Raw.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can't.
No, it doesn't mean nothing. Man, I don't know. I guess I would have to go with Thomas and Tim and go KO. I mean, unless surprisingly we get a Rock to join them. I mean, to start the feud, but I think the leading guy is going to be KO for the fifth spot.
KO. All right, mess around. How about you? Who's going to be that fifth guy?
Who wants to walk with Elias?
Elias, really?
I'm kidding. It's KO.
Bold take there.
That's
a bold take there, Elias.
KO. I mean, it sounds like everyone is almost going with KO.
Well, he's not fired this year. He's like the best thing on Raw.
Yeah.
Christy, are you going with KO too?
I'm going with KO because remembering him as part of a Team Ciampa versus the Undisputed Era at one War Games, and he came out and shocked the hell out of everyone. He was really good during that War Games match. He was great. I think he can be great again.
Yeah, I think I definitely think KO's probably going to be that final guy. I can't think of, one other guy that you could really.
I'd try to rack my brain. I mean, Cena, maybe. I know they've been Cena retaining, but
I don't think Cena does those.
I don't think Cena.
It's pretty brutal.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Do you go another big guy? You throw Braun in there.
I don't know.
Happy
I
Corbin.
think he destroyed the cage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's got to be Owens. I mean, unless we get a swerve somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Tim, we're going to get to that one in a minute too. So right now we're just talking about the men's side. And so I think right now for the men's side, I think it's a clean sweep. I think everyone thinks it's going to be Kevin Owens.
Yes.
Now.
No, it's not. It's going to be Dominic Mysterio.
Oh my God. Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, and then Rhea Ripley's going to be leading him out on a leash.
Or little Hornswoggle makes his return. But now we talk about the women's side, and I think that the women's side could be tricky, and here's why. Because if Sasha and Naomi are actually returning, Okay, it could be them,
Right.
but I'm thinking though too. Besides Sasha and Naomi, I'm also thinking like you could honestly throw a name in there of Becky Lynch because I think Becky Lynch could be returning anytime
Possible.
and be a member on that team.
Mhm.
And you throw in like a Candice LeRae or somebody like that to kind of
Yeah.
round out the team to make 5.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's why I'm like maybe Candice LeRae and maybe Becky Lynch, maybe
Right.
Sasha, maybe Naomi. I mean, right now those would kind of be my 4 picks, kind of how I can possibly see it rounding out.
Mhm.
Not 100%, but that's kind of what I'm looking at there because she kind of has been wrapped up in the storyline just a little bit with these guys. So that's why I said Becky and
Yeah.
Candice.
Yeah.
Big B, how about you?
So right now we got Damage Control with
Mhm.
Nikki Cross with the
Right.
5th spot open there, and then we got Belair and Alexa and Asuka
Asuka.
together.
Mhm.
Man, I'm just trying to think who would round out Damage Control, but yeah, I can see Sasha and Naomi coming back and rounding out the babyface team.
Yep.
On the other side, I mean, who? I mean,
Charlotte Flair?
Woo!
Oh, please,
I
God, no.
don't. I mean, it would make sense because her, the 4 Horsemen kind of created this. Were legendary
Mhm.
Mhm.
in the War Games. Maybe she comes back on the babyface side and then does a heel turn on that side.
Yeah, no, I was talking about rounding out on the heel side. I thought she
Yeah,
was,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Maybe maybe her and Lynch come in and they join the face, and then maybe we get Shayna to join, or
I don't know.
I don't know. Tamina's around still. I mean,
Yeah, she is.
Mhm.
yeah. So
I'd like to see her be a part of it. She deserves to have some of the spotlight.
yeah, maybe she joins. I don't know. They're kind of interesting on what they could do
Yeah.
with the women's side of that.
Mhm. It's definitely going to be the most interesting because we have no idea how this is all going to turn out in
So-
the end.
So Thomas is saying maybe the Bloodline takes out Woods and Kofi joins Team Brutes.
I don't know.
And Thomas is saying Tamina would be very random. It would
But
be
she would
very-
fit. But she would fit in the damage control
It's gonna be
philosophy.
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
would because there's
Cora Jade.
because there could be so many people that I'm still on the face side. I'm
Yeah.
still down to 4 people that I think are going to do it. Sasha and Naomi and then Candice LeRae and Becky Lynch. Those are like the 4 I'm down to on the face side. On the heel side, maybe a Shayna, maybe. Other than
Shayna
that,
would obviously make the most sense for that heel team.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
she's been that
possibly,
way in War Games
if
before.
they go Shayna on that side, then you almost have to put Liv Morgan in on the women's side.
That would
On
make
the
sense.
face.
Yeah. Mess around. How about you?
For the girls?
Yeah.
Oh, Nia Jax come back. She's gonna be surprised.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I think she's done with that. She said no.
No, she's done. I'm just kidding.
She's done.
I wouldn't mind seeing the man come back.
Becky.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but honestly, I think it's gonna be Liv Morgan.
Oh, on the face side?
Yeah.
With who else though?
Yeah, there's
With
two.
who else? How
Well,
many spots? Oh, there's 2 more spots they need.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, there's only 2.
Yeah, geez. Let's see. Oscar.
Asuka's there. It's
Oh, she's already there.
Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka.
Oh, okay. Duh. I had a senior moment. Leave me alone.
Oh boy.
Where's Rochelle Gonzalez or Rodriguez? Whatever. Where's she been?
Raquel
lately? I haven't seen
Rodriguez.
her.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's over there hanging around on SmackDown. She was in that number
Yeah.
1 contenders match on Friday.
Yeah.
You
one
know,
of my
honestly,
Shotzi
thinking about
Blackheart.
it,
I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of another one.
Oh jeez.
But thinking of it, I mean, she hasn't got her push, and that's kind of what Damage Control's all about: is not getting their push, not getting their, you know, that could be a
Mhm.
fifth person over on that side.
Maybe.
All right, Christy, how about you?
Well, yeah, on the heel side, definitely Shayna makes the most sense to work with Damage Control and Nikki Cross. So there's that. The heel side, I'm thinking since you have Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka, I'm going to go Sasha and Naomi. That
Okay.
would probably round out the babyface side. For me.
Are they officially returning, or are we still kind of
They're on
speculating?
they're on WWE.com's active list.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
on,
I saw that. So
they're on the list. I think that they're there.
You
And
did the
Thomas
list.
is saying, maybe they bring Raquel over.
I wouldn't be mad about it if they brought Raquel over.
That could be a possibility. It could be. But I don't. This
Candice
is
LeRae, that's my other pick.
this Candice LeRae,
Yeah.
She's done war games before.
and
Yep.
this is the one that I'm saying is kind of tricky because like it could with the women it could legitimately go so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So many different ways.
Yep.
And that I'm actually kind of excited to see how it pans out because of how many different ways it definitely could go.
Yeah.
I think the one interesting match that they are kind of throwing on Survivor Series, I'm actually glad to see Shotzi finally get a shot.
Me too.
I think that Shotzi's been talented for a very, very long
Mhm.
time. She hasn't really got to show what she has, and now she finally gets to show it.
Yep. Too bad it's against Ronda.
But I still have a feeling that at some point, I do have a feeling that Shayna is going to turn on Ronda, and
Mhm.
I still have a feeling it's leading up to Ronda versus Shayna at some point.
Yeah.
I really do.
okay, I gotta ask. I know I've been watching wrestling. I missed it. When did they pair them two up?
Recently.
I mean, I'm glad they did. I've been wanting it, but I
and
must have missed
Shayna
it.
broke Natalia's nose.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
That
yeah.
pissed me
Okay,
off.
I'll have to go back and kind of rewatch it. And, you know, I know I've seen the reports. I'm like, okay, I know I haven't missed too much SmackDown, or I was sleeping when this happened. I don't know, taking a mess around nap.
You'd be talking
you know.
about me if you're talking about sleeping. Come on.
But
I mean,
I
I've
can
been
also-
waiting for it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
You know how many
I
times
can
I had
also-
to restart SmackDown this week because I fell asleep or Raw?
No, jeez.
Like 3 or 4 different times I had to restart it because I fell asleep during it. And I woke up, it was over.
Oh yeah. I was cursing at my TV when Shayna broke Natalia's nose. I'm like, oh yeah. If I didn't hate you even more, I hate you even worse today. Yeah, legitimately broke Natty's nose.
when you look ahead to Survivor Series, I can tell you that the rumors are swirling that Bray's first match is going to be against LA Knight, which I think is a great pairing. I think Bray Wyatt and LA Knight could put on a fantastic match.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
I'm wondering which version of Bray Wyatt are we getting? Are we getting normal Bray Wyatt? Are we getting Uncle Howdy? Or are we getting one of some other weird, twisted personalities he might have?
I think you'll get the regular Bray.
Okay.
Well, and that's
I hope
I
it's
mean,
the regular Bray.
you know, Ish, you're not wrong. I think these two could put on a great match, but for his first match as this new Bray Wyatt, whatever we're gonna call him, I mean, kind of threw me off in left field. I'm just like, good match, but they're kind of threw me off on the building now. So we'll see how they build into it. But yeah, I hope the match happens, and I hope it's a good one.
Well, I mean, the thing is it's kind of interesting because people were complaining because all Bray's doing is talking, blah 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 blah. So then they were trying to throw something else in there, and I'm like, really, people, come on. But the thing is like, the interesting thing is there's this thing that's called long-term booking.
Yep.
And we don't know what Bray's character is going to be yet. Yeah, the thing is that's what it is, and they're trying to use long-term booking so we can figure out what Bray's character is going to be.
Yeah.
And
Well, I definitely like the fact that they haven't released the puppets or this Wyatt Six,
Right.
and they're slowly building that. I do like the fact they've done that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, they got the Uncle
Hello, Angel.
Howdy character out there, so there's one.
Uncle Howdy. Yeah.
Uncle
Yeah, but we still don't know who it is, though. That's the whole
No,
thing.
we don't. I've
Yeah,
heard
we don't.
speculations. Bo Dallas is the most likely name. It could be somebody else. I mean, we never know until the person pulls the mask off, and then
I
Well,
hope it's Barry Windham.
Bro, leave.
believe.
I did hear though that Bray Wyatt actually has 100% control over his character,
Good.
and so.
That's probably the only way to come back.
Got a really creative mind.
But the thing is, the dude is very creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's
Nope.
very, very creative, and that was the problem. Was the first time was Vince did not want to listen to any of his creative ways.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, to where Vince is like, no, I don't like that. And I'm like, now you're seeing how creative Bray Wyatt can actually be,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it's
And
Like
and
what he's come up with so far with his new character has been really good. Being himself, and then you have the Uncle Howdy character, and then
Mhm.
it kind of makes you excited for the other 4 characters he comes up with to create the Wyatt Six.
yeah, I just know that it was cool when when Triple H first took over.
Mhm.
And then he came out and basically said, "Look, I'm going to listen to everybody. I want input from everybody. It's going to take a group effort."
Yeah.
That
See-
to me. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I think you're kind of maybe going on the right track as I was thinking. I think Triple H is kind of see why everybody left left WWE and all the other promotions to go to AEW, because that was the big sticking point, was they would have say in their character and the matches and how to build their characters. And now Triple H has come in for the second time pretty much and had that same idea. I mean, when Attitude Era started, him and Shawn Michaels like, dude, we need to change. And Vince is like, no, we can't. Finally got him to change, and now Vince is gone, and Triple H is like, okay, now we need to change again. We got to start listening to our wrestlers and get their input. So he's kind of,
Yeah, but
There have been a good number of wrestlers who've talked about how it's just how easy it is to go to
Yep.
Triple H and talk to him about some of the creative ideas they might have
Yeah.
for their characters, how to tweak a match, that sort of thing. His door is always open. He's always willing to listen.
But I think where people get misconstrued a lot is when people go, oh, okay, they have 100% creative control. Let me tell you, there's no promotion that gives anybody 100% creative control.
Mhm.
Now, I know they said Bray Wyatt has 100% control. He may have 100% control to where he can come up with any idea he wants, but in the long run, it still has to be passed through Triple H.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
same with AEW. Anything that's said there still has to go through Tony Khan.
Yep.
There's always somebody to be looking at.
I bet you it's more of, okay, yeah, Bray's got, he come back, okay, you got 100% say in, control of it. Maybe we can come to a compromise, and when the idea is brought up,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah, which I still think it's great. But
Yeah.
so that could potentially be a match that you could see at Survivor Series. I don't know. We saw that the new member of the OC now is Mia Yim.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're gonna do like some kind of like 4-on-4 match, or I don't know what they're gonna do. Any thoughts?
I just hope they do better with her than they did when she was Reckoning in Retribution. That was terrible.
New era.
Yep.
Keep in mind, new era. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Mess around. What do you think that they're gonna do? Do you think it's gonna be an 8-man, or do you think it's gonna be like Balor versus Styles and
You know what they're
then
gonna do?
3? Huh?
They're gonna beat up John Cena.
Right?
Do, do, do.
I'm not sure. They go a lot of different ways. As long as the Judgment Day goes over, that's all I care about. Keep them strong.
Wow.
Wow.
I think, Thomas, you're probably right. It's probably going to be an 8-man or 8-person.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna start off as a triple or a 6-man, and then of course the women will get involved, and then they're like, fine, we'll just make it
Yep.
a 4-person, 8-person
Like, all right,
tag.
Rhea, Mia, go at it.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out forever. They're like, oh, we got to figure out the Rhea Ripley problem.
Bring in Mia Yim.
And then they were figuring. I just think that's going to be another match that you're going to see at Survivor Series also.
Mhm.
I like Mia there, but I think I would have rather seen Flair come back into that group.
That would have been.
I know they posed with some pictures with her. I don't know. I think her and Ripley could have had a better going, and they've had a feud before. I think that would have been a better.
I know what you're saying, but I just don't see that. Like, I don't see Charlotte Flair being placed in a group. I just don't.
Mm-mm.
You're most likely right.
She's a queen. You can't put her with the group. Come on.
So Thomas is saying, I wonder if we're going to have an elimination match.
Not a bad idea.
Maybe that's the one we're talking about.
Maybe.
The OC, versus Judgment Day. That could definitely be an elimination style match there.
Aren't they all going to be? I mean, aren't all the tag matches going to be elimination?
No,
Mm-mm.
They're not. Okay.
no. We're just saying that could be a potential thing. Maybe each team gets one more person on there, and then you have your typical 5-on-5. Just throwing an idea out there. I'm not
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I'm not saying you.
Oh
win.
yeah, I know.
I
know.
Yeah, it could be potentially an idea. Mia and Rhea get double disqualified.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. I don't.
I mean, that's the only way they would both get eliminated because they typically don't. They haven't done the mixed gender tag matches in a while.
No.
I mean,
The mixed gender tag matches. That's actually been a while since they have done anything like that.
And Thomas brings up a good question. When does Beth come back and get her revenge?
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, you could potentially maybe see her, and you couldn't really add. Well,
you got to figure they got to bring her and Edge back together. I mean,
Yep. They probably will. That's definitely one that I'm like.
Edge and Beth versus Dominic and Rhea at Mania. They've been doing those mixed gender tags at Mania quite a bit lately, so
maybe.
Maybe.
Mess around. Any ideas for matches that you potentially see at Survivor Series?
No, I can't think of any.
Nothing comes to my mind.
The Gallabarded versus the Minnesota team.
The Miz.
we would win.
The Miz versus Dexter Lumis.
Oh.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Ooh.
I think you're gonna finally see that one.
Mm.
Well, how about Gargano and Dexter Lumis versus Miz and somebody? Johnny
Miz
Drip Drip comes back.
Ooh.
Johnny Drip Drip.
Ciampa.
Ciampa's injured.
Ciampa's out for a year.
I was gonna say Ciampa's
He had
been-
hip surgery.
Oh,
he won't be back.
yeah, he did, but I thought he was gonna be out sooner, but no, he'll probably be out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one: Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell versus Miz and Maurice. It's just an idea.
maybe.
What about I
Angel.
know
only-
what's that?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was talking about somebody on here.
Okay. I know Bobby Lashley's throwing out the idea of trying to get the Hurt Business back together. Can we see them partnering up with Omos and MVP again, and then maybe Braun gets a group of guys together? I mean,
Ooh.
Braun, Brock.
God, would that be just? I mean, they would just need them two. I mean, Braun and
Two
Braun.
giant dudes.
Right? I'm like,
Bring Goldberg back just for shits and giggles too. Why not?
Yeah, that too.
In that match.
Angel Olis. I don't know if I'm saying your name wrong. I see you're on here, but you're also trying to call me on Messenger, and I'm not going to answer my Messenger right now because I'm on a live video. So whatever you need, you can send me a message. I'm not going to answer my
Hold
message.
off there on that one.
Wow.
All right.
Please.
All right.
You don't
so,
see that every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
with that, yeah, but is it because I think Survivor Series? What I think it's like a couple weeks away. I think correct.
About
Yeah,
that.
it's either the week before Thanksgiving or the week after.
I think it's
I thought it was like
after
two-
Thanksgiving. I think it's November 26th.
Okay, after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so I think it's like 2 weeks away or something.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. So I don't think they can throw the Hurt Business together right now
No.
because with Survivor Series only being 2 weeks away, they don't really have any way to kind of build up between now and then for like a 2 week span. So I think these matches that we're going to see happening are just going to be things that have kind of been stewing
Yeah.
like
For
the
a
last
while, yeah.
several weeks. Yeah. And Thomas is saying Johnny Drip might be heading to Impact.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I can see it happening. Well, and besides, I think his wife, Taya Valkyrie, is back in Impact, I think.
I
That
didn't
might
even
have
know.
something.
Yeah.
That might have something to do with it. I'm not sure though.
I didn't even know who he was married to be perfectly honest.
No, I kind of heard.
Oh,
but
yeah.
She used to be Frankie Monet in NXT.
Oh, Frankie Monet. Gotcha.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Frankie Monet. Yeah, I did not know that Johnny Drip was actually married to Frankie Monet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that is.
Oh.
Frankie Monet,
Read about
right?
it in Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Oh, she's not on the mess around the Wall of Fame. We're seeing.
So
Really? Let me go look
Fun
her up.
fact for mess around: I think Cora Jade's
Frankie
first
Monet.
victory in NXT was against Frankie Monet.
here is also an interesting fact about Braun Strowman.
Okay.
I wanted to get into this because I read this thing about Braun Strowman. Look, I've been a Braun Strowman fan for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you read these little news things and you're like, well, is this legit? Is this not legit? But what I'm talking about is this thing that where they sent out. I don't know if anybody saw it, but apparently apparently there's some backstage heat with Braun Strowman and people backstage. People avoid Braun Strowman when he gets there because apparently Braun Strowman is always the last one there. He's he's always the last one to show up. He's always the first one to leave, and so they said he's kind of got, I don't know, he kind of sees himself as like one of the bigger guys there, and I don't mean size wise. I'm just talking about
ego.
Yeah, I guess that's what people are talking about, and so so right now. What they're saying is they're hoping that Braun isn't trying to burn his bridges for a second time with WWE.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You should be thanking Triple H for giving him this second chance.
Well, and that's the whole thing. I read that story too, and I'm just like, I don't know, because if he's like that, Triple H would have. I don't think Triple H would have brought him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing though too, because apparently this happened when Vince was there, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, that's why you got let go. Well,
yeah, and so I'm like, well, but is it really? Because we don't really know when Vince was there, kind of what went on and what didn't go on, because of the whole stuff that between Vince and Bray Wyatt too, the reason why Bray Wyatt was released or whatever. And so
Yeah.
this story with Braun, I don't know if it's true.
Yeah. I can't remember who put that out, but yeah, I don't know. I can't see them bringing him back because that was also reported that was the reason why he got let go the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody travels in their little groups. I mean,
Yep.
Somebody's gonna leak something. I'll be like, yeah, Braun he travels with us, but he'll be in the hotel. He'll be the last one to leave. He'll be the last one to show up at the live show, and once his match is over, he's gone. I mean, you would think it would get leaked out.
Yeah. Stuff like that to me is always like 50-50.
Yeah.
Because
That's why I've said over the years, internet most part is killing the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Kill
It is.
kayfabe.
That kayfabe happens to be there, and so
Yep.
Thomas is saying Taya does work for Impact.
Well, it confirms what I said there. Yeah.
So there's your answer on that one right there.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring that up because I read it and I didn't know if anybody else saw it. And for me, like I said personally, I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I have no idea.
I would probably take it with a grain of salt because a lot of rumors and stuff are usually proven not to be true.
Well, if it's through Dave Meltzer, correct.
Right. Yes.
And most of them are not true if it's through that guy. But that dude is just, I don't know.
I wonder what happened to Meltzer because back in the 90s when he started coming out, he was all about the WWF, WWE, and he bashed WCW all the time.
Yep.
I don't know if Vince rubbed him the wrong way or something, but and then like Ace has said, he's kind of turned and now he's all AEW and bashing WWE all the time. So I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the Vince rubbed him the wrong way theory on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just some of the crap he says. I'm reading
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I was like, really? Come on. I was like,
are you
that
serious?
or else he's just trying to, get, hits on his accounts, his social media accounts, or
That could be it.
it's got to be because when you're looking at this, there's no way he's writing this with a straight face and thinking that some of the stuff he's writing is legit. Because when I read it, I'm like, it's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It even bears repeating because it's so stupid. I'm like, where do you come up with this crap?
That's what I'd like to know.
yeah.
Like, who are your sources?
Well, yeah, his biggest one was on Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes was gonna switch to WWE,
Mm-hmm.
and he leaves a post on the night of Mania and says Cody Rhodes is gonna walk out the night of Mania. Because he's not actually signed with WWE. It's just a work. And I'm like, this guy's freaking Looney Tunes. I tell you, this guy is Looney. Like,
Well, I guarantee. I mean, we know celebrities show off, but I guarantee you're in a match. You got a contract, maybe just for one night,
Yeah.
but you got a contract with Vince to work at WrestleMania.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you have a contract, you're working it. It's just
Oh yeah.
it's just how it is. So,
Yep.
but I know what you mean, Big B. I think back then he was a lot bigger name. Like he's a big name now, but I think back then people took him more serious than what they do now. To be perfectly honest, they do.
Yep.
Like a lot of people just crap on that guy now.
Yeah.
The stupid stuff he talks about.
Exactly.
Nope.
And every time I see a tweet of his, I just scroll right by it. It's like, I'm not reading any of your crap. Screw that.
I'm like,
Screw it.
I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, we're almost at that point now. Big B, what do you have for us tonight, man?
I mean, thanks for letting me on. It's always good to talk wrestling, get interaction with Thomas Burnett mainly tonight. Hopefully the rest of our viewers are might be in shock that they're watching the all day football. I mean, there's some bangers tonight. Speaking of bangers,
yeah.
But outside of that, always good. Check us out all week long. C2C is always out. We got great shows. Another wrestling show, Tuesday Night Mania. Can't wait for that one. So have a good night, guys.
All right, mess around, Dave. How about you, my man?
He didn't fall asleep, did he? Nope.
I'm here, I promise. I was looking for you on there.
Okay.
Took me a while to find her, but I found her. She's not bad looking, but not my fave.
That's all you got for us? Okay.
Oh, yeah, for you.
Huh? All right, Christy.
That's
what-
all I got.
There was something for you. I
Oh.
did read the Triple H. There's a rumor out that Cass and Enzo were coming back to WWE, and they asked Triple H about it. And he's like, "Nope, not a chance. No truth to that rumor."
Well, no, because Cass is signed with AEW.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, "That's just Enzo Amore trying to create
Yeah,
publicity for himself."
I'd like to see him bring back Enzo.
I don't. I thought it was annoying and obnoxious.
Well, what do we got over here? What do we got below here?
A couple of haters?
You know what?
A couple of
How about
haters.
this? We bring back Enzo and pair him up with Leo Rush. I mean, just think of the conversation
Oh,
those
yes.
two guys could have.
Leo Rush is in New Japan. He's not coming back.
No.
No.
Lashley.
All right, Christy, what do you got for us?
Oh, it's just fun to do the show, talk wrestling, and just even after all day football, this is one of the things I look forward to.
All right, well, with that, we definitely want to thank everybody for watching again tonight. It's been another episode of Between the Ropes. You can catch another episode next week. With that, we hope everybody had a good one. And Thomas is saying Enzo and Leo would be an interesting combo. They definitely would.
Yeah.
They definitely
That
would.
would be great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
Boy.
anyways, we hope everybody has a fantastic night, and we will see you next Sunday for another episode of Between the Ropes. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Later.